Hey, I'm Noelle.
And I'm Marisa, and if you're new here, Noelle does call me Pete, so she'll be referring to me as Pete throughout this episode.
And welcome back to Take It Home.
Woo! Yeah.
Okay, today our sip of the week. We're back to alcohol, you guys, because we want to have a silly night.
Yeah, we had done a couple non-alcoholic drinks the past few episodes, so we figured it's time for something else.
So tonight we are drinking Limoncello Spritzes. Cheers.
Eye contact
always. Yum.
One of my favorite drinks. I have a newfound love for it. It's so good.
So I made these, and I'm going to post a TikTok video of how I made them. These are made with 3 parts Prosecco, 2 parts Limoncello, 1 part soda water or club soda. Are they the same thing?
I think so.
Okay, well, 1 part club soda.
I don't know.
And mint and lime to garnish. However, we also put lemon juice. We also put lemon juice in them because we did have a sip of them earlier, and they needed more lemon juice.
Yeah, I needed the tangy, the tartness to cut the sweetness of the limoncello and like the strong flavor of alcohol. It just needed the acidity. So add some extra lemon juice if you like that. I needed like a tart flavor.
I don't like when things are too sweet.
No. Me either. Well, not a drink at least.
No, not a drink.
Anyway, that's our sip of the week. It's perfect for summer.
Yum, yum, yum. Summer's coming to an end.
I know. It's late August right now as we're filming.
Ooh. But I'm ready for fall.
I am too. I mean, I'm ready in certain ways. I'm ready for the fall vibes and change in general. Just ready for like a new season, a new vibe. I love fall. It's one of my favorites. I'm not ready for cold weather.
Heard.
But the weather right now is like perfect. It's cooled down a little bit to where it's not like hot New York City. But it's like, high 70s is the high. And then it gets a little
70s.
High 70s. It gets a little cooler at night. So it's kind of perfect right now. And I hope it lasts a while.
It does feel really nice outside. I took a walk today and I was like,
it's like fresh air. Yeah.
It does feel like fresh air.
Because this summer was hot, like too hot. If you're new here, we do this every week. We talk about something that made us smile this week to kind of put gratitude into practice and be positive, spread joy. Okay, you go first.
Okay, so my thing that made me smile this week was I saw an off-Broadway play with one of our besties, Andrew. Shout out to Andrew. Go see him in the Book of Mormon on Broadway.
So good. But
he took me on a little date. Actually, first we went to Subway because we both love Subway. We have a thing for Subway sandwiches. And we were like, it's time for us to go together. So we met at Subway. And then after we ate our sandwiches... Yeah, actually, originally we were gonna dress up really nicely for Subway, and that was gonna be our whole thing. Like, I was literally gonna wear a dress and heels, and he was gonna wear like a suit. But then he got comp tickets for this play, which I'll talk about. So we felt too weird going to... It was a parody of Parent Trap. The play is called Ginger Twinsies. So funny.
You felt too weird going dressed up to the show, but not just so
Okay, hear me out. So I know that sounds crazy. I guess that just sounds crazy. I don't really know what to say about it.
Wait, I know what you're going to say.
Like,
well, because dressing up at Subway would have obviously been a joke.
Yes.
But like dressing up to a show would have been weird because it would have looked like you were serious about it.
To see Ginger Twinsies in like a fancy, like we both looked nice, but we were like, okay, let's actually dress normal nice. So I wore like a dress and flats, but something about wearing a heels and walking in to see Ginger Twinsies, a parody musical about the Parent Trap, it just felt like I don't want to be a try hard.
Right.
So,
but in Subway, it's fine.
But in Subway, okay, whatever.
In Subway, it's a joke. At the show, it would have been like, why did you dress up for this show?
Yeah, and I was like, what if I see people I know and they're like why is she trying so hard right now to impress the people of Ginger Twinsies?
I get it.
Okay, thank you.
It was just funny. So we were like, I don't know. We were going to dress up in like gowns for Subway, but it just felt too weird to go to the show that way.
The play after. God forbid people dress up for the theater. But
bring back dressing up for the theater though.
Actually, yeah.
Right?
I mean, like black tie.
I know. Like I need that vibe.
Right?
I love that it can be casual now or whatever. You can wear what you want. You don't have to think about it. Like someone can call you while you're on a run and be like, hey, I got tickets to this. Do you want
and then you can
be like,
go.
oh, yes. And you can go like that because it doesn't matter anymore.
You could run there.
Bring back dressing up. Like how fun would that be?
Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
So anyways, Ginger Twinsies was so freaking funny. Highly recommend seeing it. Low-key, it might be closed by the time... Actually, I think it's still running through October. If it's not running anymore, sorry you missed it. If it is still running, go see it. Okay, what was your thing that made you smile?
My thing, it's a little broad, but I went home to Michigan over the weekend, which was nice because I hadn't been home for a few months, and I love going to Michigan in the summer. It's just like lovely, and I got to see my family obviously, and it was a good time. And my sister moved into her apartment, her first like actual apartment at school, so I got to go there and see her apartment and just like spend time with family and see my dog, which was great. Of course, just spend time at home because I'm probably not going to go back there until like the holidays, so I needed to make a trip before fall came.
Yeah. Oh, family time is so nice.
Yes.
Just like going home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really is. Just like, it feels like a reset in a way sometimes.
Also, Lily's apartment room looks so nice.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, her apartment in Michigan, it's so big and like, it's so nice. And like, our apartment is nice too, but I'm like, oh my gosh, the difference of like New York size apartments to Michigan is like,
dude, our
so
apartments at Elon were
that too
fucking nice. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
Yeah, everyone had their own bathroom, big living room,
huge,
and then
sunroom,
like, even like a den, sunroom, and
full kitchen,
the side room. There was like the side room and the sunroom and the kitchen and just everything was so spacious.
The side room.
Yeah, like when you first walk in, there was no door there, but
I forgot about
what was even in my side room. I don't even. We just had like a.
I don't remember
sofa.
What yours was. Mine was a dining room area.
So funny,
and it was like so cheap,
Yeah,
and now we're in a nice apartment, but it's a lot smaller and it's way more expensive.
Yeah, but I always say you're paying for the city.
That is true.
You know, like
that is true.
You're paying to live here. You're paying to get woken up at 5 a.m. by like someone screaming on the top of their lungs.
Oh my God. Last night.
I was scared, you guys.
What was she? Was she saying help me?
No, I don't think so. I couldn't understand what she was saying.
She was like,
it was like, but there was more like anger underneath it.
She was mad.
It didn't sound like she was like screaming for help. It sounded like she was like yelling at someone, but like it was like scary at 5 a.m. It's not the first time this has happened, but
I don't normally wake up though.
I know for you to wake up, because I'm such a light sleeper, so I wake up to anything that happens outside of the window, and then I'll text Noelle, I'll be like, do you hear that? And then she like reads it in the morning. She's like, wait, what happened?
I'm like, no, I didn't. But last night I heard it. I was like half asleep and I was listening to it, and then I like kind of fully woke up and I was like, damn. And I was like, I can't wait to tell Pete tomorrow that I woke up, because I knew that you were probably awake too.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was so loud.
And it went on for like a long time too.
It really did. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Which, hope she's okay. I don't know what that was. But anyway, Should we get into our topic?
No.
Okay. We should just end there.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your day.
Just kidding.
Got you good.
We got some good things to talk about.
We pranked ya.
Did we get ya?
We got ya. Good. So stupid. This is like why we need to drink on every episode.
I'm not even like tipsy, but I'm just.
I am. I've been like 3 sips and I'm tipsy.
We were talking about this because we don't like drink that much anymore, so our tolerance is lower. I don't feel it yet, but I've just been in like a silly mood recently. Yesterday, I was at work and it was just very slow. Like there were not a lot of customers. So I was like on TikTok, of course. I was crying, laughing my ass off at like the stupidest TikToks. Like I've just been in like a giggly mood.
I pick Clark. I still need you to see. I'm on I Pick Clark TikTok. It's people just.
You sounded identical both times you said it.
I Pick Clark.
I Pick Clark.
Shout out to Love Island.
Love Island. I obviously know the reference, but I haven't seen that on TikTok.
It's like people just choose. Like this one guy is choosing what drink he wants, and his friend is like, "Okay, which drink do you want?" And he's just like, "I Pick Clark." Like I don't know. It's just people saying it about random stuff.
If you're not familiar with Love Island, there was kind of a love triangle happening.
Familiarize yourself.
This one guy, Taylor and Olandria, they were like a couple from the beginning. You thought they were very strong. And then this girl, Clark, comes in and now he's like, which one do I like more? And
he picks Clark.
He's being wishy-washy the whole time. And then eventually, everyone's like, you need to make a decision. You need to stop leading both of these girls on, like make a decision. And he's like, okay, y'all want me to pick? I pick Clark.
And now it's become a thing on TikTok. I Pick Clark.
Brutal. But anyway.
Brutal.
He said it in front of everyone, like every Islander that was there.
Actually, she's fine now.
She is totally fine now.
She has her mans.
At the time,
she's stunning.
I want to beat him up.
Just kidding. Oh my God. He's a real person with feelings. Shout out. You're nice, I bet.
Men just...
Yeah, men.
I don't know. We need our Men Okay part 2. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Wait, I have to say one more thing about TikTok.
Okay. Say one more thing about TikTok and then we'll go into our topic.
I saw this really fucking funny ass TikTok. I was like laughing my ass off. I don't even know who this girl is. She is like this beautiful, like model looking, like TikToker content creator.
She was blonde too.
She was blonde. And she's like, guys, she's like talking to the camera. She's like... something happened last night and I just have not been able to stop thinking about it, but I was at a bar with my friends and this like dad came up to me and he was like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I just have to ask, like my daughter over there, like she's too nervous to come and ask you, but like he goes, I just have to ask, are you Benson Boone?
this like woman, blonde model woman,
she's like, me? And he's like, yeah, are you Benson Boone? And she's like, me? No, I'm not. So she's like so confused, like what? Benson Boone is like he's like male singer
with brown curly hair. I'm pretty
and
sure
a mustache.
Yeah, like they don't look.
I just want to know what was going through that man's head, or like the daughter's head. Like, were they confusing Benson Boone for something else,
or was the daughter trying to get prank her dad by being like, "Oh my God, go ask her if she's Benson Boone."
Honestly, that's so fucking funny. But I was watching that TikTok all alone at work, tears streaming down my face because I was just imagining like being in that position, like us at a bar and like someone comes up so dead ass like, are you Benson Boone? I would like pee my pants. Anyway, I've been in a silly goofy mood
ever since she saw that TikTok.
Ever since I saw that TikTok,
crazy.
I've been laughing. Okay, let's get into our topic.
Planting seeds.
Tending to your garden of life. So we thought we would start off by defining what planting seeds means to us, and what the hell we're talking about. Okay, so planting seeds is investing in your future, basically. It's starting things that bring you joy or can bring you fruit in the future, but something that you're going to have to like tend to and maybe not see results for a while from.
Mm-hmm. No immediate results.
And being artists, the two of us, I feel like being an artist is all about planting seeds.
Yes.
Because I find so much of your career, like what you're trying to work towards, feels out of your control. Mm-hmm. So it's important to have little things that can anchor and ground you that just feel like yours, that no one can take away from you. You're still able to feel like an artist and express yourself regardless of like if anyone's watching or you're getting any like external validation from it.
Yeah, doing things for your future self. And sometimes that's like an example could literally be just showing up to auditions, audition after audition. And you never know who's going to be in the room or who you're meeting or who you'll audition for multiple times. But, you know, your career can never go anywhere if you don't start doing little things at some point. Even if those little things feel like they're getting you nowhere. Like, I know if I go to just one audition, I feel like, well, I'm not getting a call back from that. Like, they're not even casting the show right now. But you never know if they're looking at you for something else. Mm-hmm. You know, to me, that's one example. Yeah, so planting seeds are little things that'll grow. Literally like planting a garden. You plant your little tomato seeds and you water them and you tend to them, and you won't see tomatoes the next day. But then in a few weeks, you'll have lots of tomatoes and you can make some pasta sauce with them. But like that, but in real life. And it doesn't even have to just be career, but in any way. I feel like starting therapy, just like little things that'll help you in the long run. Things that when you look back years from now, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that thing, that small thing. Like, I'm so glad I started saving money.
In life, one thing always leads to another. It's like the butterfly effect.
The butterfly effect, yes.
One thing leads to this thing, leads to this thing, leads to this thing, leads to like one of the biggest, most important things of your life, you know? And like you can think about something right now that you're like super grateful for. And you can trace it back all the way, like every single decision you made that got you to that point. It's all seeds. And that's like you growing and your life growing and your garden blossoming. I just find that to be one of the coolest things. That's what my album was about. It's called It All Led Me to You. And it's it's just about like, it was kind of inspired by that concept of like all of these things that seem insignificant or like small decisions lead you to like meeting your best friend or like the love of your life, or lead you to a certain career path, or just like the things in your life that are most important to you. You can always trace it back to like the small decisions, which can be seeds.
So a reason why Pete and I wanted to do this episode is because we're both artists, and honestly, it can be very, very frustrating at times. So we're going to keep it real on this episode, and it'll be very positive towards the end. But day to day, Pete and I, you know, sometimes complain to each other. And I don't think either of us are jaded people necessarily, but it can be frustrating when you've been working so hard and you know you're talented and you're putting in the work to be like, okay, when's it gonna pay off? And we're both lucky. We both love our current day jobs that are making us money. Like, I enjoy being a tour guide. It's not like I'm, you know, hating my life or anything in the moment, but sometimes it feels a little bit like, you know, I'm doing this one thing, but I'm pursuing an entire other career that just hasn't happened for me yet. And that's what I want to pour my heart and soul into. I want to be able to just do my art all day, every day. But when you have to pay your rent, that's not what's paying the bills. You have to also get another job and focus on that, and then come home after that and work on your art. And it's just like, okay, when's the day gonna come when I can just like be a full-time artist?
Yeah, I feel like I've been planting so many seeds for years, but we're kind of in the stage where we're not really yet seeing those fruits of our labor.
Not yet.
In the way that we want to. I will counter that with this thought that I saw online the other day that was, maybe you don't see your progress because you're always raising the bar. And that really resonated with me because, yeah, we all have these like big goals and dreams. And sometimes we can be so focused on that one thing or like a finish line where we're not really noticing in all the small ways we've grown and changed. Like thinking back to just where I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. When things just become a part of your reality, it just becomes your normal. So it's really easy to forget, oh, a year ago, this is something that I really wanted, or I really wanted to be better at, or I really wanted to achieve or pursue, and you weren't there yet where you are now, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I think about that with progress in my singing voice, actually. Like, I've been a singer my whole life. Like, I'm a good singer. I hope. Like, wanting to be able to sing certain difficult songs that I wasn't able to sing in high school. And then in college, I had more skills than I did in high school. And now, after graduating school and being out for 5 years, I was consistently in voice lessons for a few years. And I feel like I've finally gotten to the point with my voice where I'm like, oh my God, holy shit, I can sing these hard songs that I thought that I was just unable to sing them in college. Granted, that's planting seeds, like that's a lot of hard work and tending. It's like, okay, I'm going to be in voice lessons. I'm going to pay for these. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to do these warm-ups all the time. So planting seeds can also mean hard work sometimes. But now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm like, damn, I can sing songs I never thought I'd be able to sing before. But I mean, that's more like also training. I don't know if that's the same as like planting a seed necessarily.
I think it is, because you can't just plant a seed and walk away from it.
Yeah.
You have to plant the seed and then you have to like water it and make sure it's getting sunlight. Mm-hmm. Like you have to plant it and then you have to tend to it. Like,
yeah.
And that would be like the equivalent of working hard or training. Like,
yeah,
planting the seed would be like the idea or starting something, but then you have to like, you're not going to see results from it if you don't nurture it. Mm-hmm. That's completely relevant.
Yeah. Like I randomly sang The Wizard and I, and Glinda's one of my dream roles. By the way, hey, Wicked, if you're watching this, dream role. But my voice teacher was like, do you want to sing The Wizard and I for fun? And I was like, sure, that's Elphaba's song. And we just like sang it for no reason. And I slayed. And I was kind of like, I would not have been able to sing that in college. Mm-hmm. And I don't really see myself playing Elphaba ever, but it's cool to know that I can sing that song now.
Right.
Just like little things, you know? Mm-hmm. And then that can translate into other roles as well that I do really want to play. So that's an example.
Yeah, for sure. With planting seeds, obviously comes growth, like we were talking about. And I think one of the biggest ways, especially as an artist, but like you can do this, anyone can do this, is taking the classic phrase, turning lemons to lemonade, or a limoncello spritz.
Limoncello into a limoncello spritz.
Yep. Taking your quote unquote bad things and turning them into something that, like a lesson or a piece of art or something that you can learn or benefit or grow from. Some of the songs that I'm most proud of that I've written have come from like some of the hardest things I've gone through.
I think an example for me is in my eye patch era, I call it, where I was in an eye patch for like 6 months. I was obviously going through a really hard time. Well, actually, I'm going to take it back a few more years. When I first moved to New York City, I was working at Lululemon, and I had a coworker who did a solo show in the musical theater world. That's pretty much where you do a concert by yourself and sing a bunch of different songs that you enjoy singing, and it can either have a story behind it or it can just be songs you want to sing for fun. And I was always like, ooh, I didn't know that was a thing I could do. I want to do a solo show, but I want to be inspired first, because I don't want to just sing the songs I sing. I want there to be a story. I want to be inspired. Flash forward like 2 years, I'm in my eye patch era, bad time, I'm not having fun. But during that time, I was like, wait, what if I made my solo show about my eye patch era? And not only just my eye patch era, but I've had a prosthetic eye since I was a baby. I was born without an eye. So I was like, why don't I just tell my life story through song? Although that time was so hard, I was very inspired to finally share my story. So honestly, thank God for the eye patch era, because then I wouldn't have done my solo show. And my solo show planted a seed for me in the producing world. I realized that I love putting shows together. So I produced the show all by myself, meaning I pretty much was the one behind everything. I was like, I emailed the venue wanting to do it. I put everything together. I was in charge of the whole project. And then I was like, I want to keep producing shows. This is right up my alley. A few months later, I have the idea to do a Night of New Works, which now the third cabaret for Night of New Works is coming up. This will be the third performance of it. But it's pretty much a cabaret with a bunch of songs written by composers who maybe haven't had an opportunity to get their work out there before. And I'm passionate about new and original musical theater shows. Yeah, it started that. My solo show, literally, that came from my eye patch era, created this whole world for me where I was like, oh my God, why don't I create a Night of New Works where I get to work with all of these composers and writers and have different performers sing different songs and have this cool collaborative experience. And a Night of New Works in itself is already planting seeds too, because I'm meeting new people all the time and working with all these people who are doing different projects here and there.
So much of this industry too is like relationships and connections.
Yes.
So many reasons why people book things or, you know, are chosen for things is because of who they know. That's just how it works. Like, it really is. So it's always important to be like, first of all, just being a good person.
Yeah.
And like
being genuine
being
too.
genuine and planting those seeds in your relationships too. Because you never know, not to do it because like, oh, maybe this person will benefit me in the future. But like, that's never the intention. But it's just like, you never know where someone could be and how someone would want to involve you in their projects or their future things. So
just meeting people who you like want to work with later.
Yeah.
Like I never even thought about Val as a music director for my cabaret, because to me she was off doing such cool stuff and I was like, little old me doing a little old cabaret, not a big deal. And then she wanted to do it and then I was like, wait a second, maybe what I'm doing is kind of cool.
it is really cool.
Thanks. Come see A Night of New Work, September 30th, 9:30 p.m. at 54 Below.
Yes, plug that.
But yeah, there's been a ton of seeds within that. And so going back to Pete and I feeling frustrated in our careers, like there are moments when I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I book this thing? Why am I not on Broadway yet? Why am I like not even getting auditions for things that I feel like I deserve auditions for? But then you take a step back and I'm like, maybe the reason why I haven't booked some of these things yet is because I'm meant to do A Night of New Works and I'm meant to collaborate with all of these cool people and put these shows up, and maybe Broadway is later in my journey.
Yeah.
Or maybe not at all.
I mean, I know this is such a cliche, but like the phrase, what is meant for you will not pass you. Like I truly believe in that. I mean, obviously, like if something is meant for you, then you're going to have it. And I think so much of my life right now, or just like the phase I'm in, has been of just like loosening my grip on everything that I want, quote unquote, like, because I don't know, like, what do I want? You know, I know how I want to feel, but you can like achieve your dreams and it may not bring you what you thought it was going to bring you. So like trusting and like the timing of everything and how if it's meant to be yours, it will be yours, and it's going to happen at the time it's meant to happen. It's going to happen in its perfect timing. Now that doesn't mean you just get to sit back and like do nothing, but that's what planting seeds is, you know.
And planting seeds can also sometimes mean straying away from the path you thought was for yourself. I'm going to talk about my love life for 1 second, not using any names, but there were two men in my life that were pretty just prevalent in my brain. One of them I was seeing off and on for like 10 years, which is crazy. He never really... He's a good friend of mine still, but when it came to dating life, he would promise to take me on fancy dates and never would. And just, you know, the point is, I didn't really feel good when I was with him about myself or about the situation. And then another guy comes along and I really liked him, Frank Moot. Shout out to you. His name is not actually Frank Moot. That's a nickname. But I really felt very attached to these two men for a while, and both of them weren't really treating me the way that I deserve to be treated or see myself being treated. Like, I literally have you guys have you heard of the saying, like, when people are like, my husband would never, like my future husband would never. That's how I felt about both of them. My future husband would never talk to me the way either of them talked to me.
That is planting a seed, because someone's going to end up being your husband in the future. And like,
if that's what you want.
If the habits...
Yeah.
No, I meant like you specifically.
Oh.
But yeah, if the habits that they have are happening now, like, I don't know, like it's not going to change.
So earlier this year, I had always kind of thought the guy that I was seeing for like 10 years, I was like, eventually, like, what'll end this is when I meet my person, and I'll meet my person, and then that'll be it, and I'll know, and then guy I've been seeing for this long will just fizzle out. But then earlier this year, I had this realization where I was like, what if I'm not meeting my person because I still have an attachment to these men who don't treat me well? And this silliest thing happened. We had a conversation where I had a really serious rash all over my body at the beginning of the year. And I was getting tested for like all of this scary stuff and like thought it could be all these crazy things and like it would go away and then come back, and it was really freaking me out. And I had seen him a couple weeks before, and I texted him just being like, hey, like, do you have a rash by any chance? Like, I have this rash and I'm really anxious about it. And it was his response. He was just like, LOL, no, I don't have a rash. And then I was like, okay, like I'm really stressed out about this rash. And like, I didn't really give any details. And then he didn't respond. And then the next day I said something like, you didn't respond. And he was like, well, I didn't know what to say. I mean, it's just a rash. I'm sure you're probably fine. Little did he know that I was getting blood tested and allergy tested.
He was like, I mean, are you going to go to the doctor? Like, I'm sure it's
like,
fine.
I've already actually been to the doctor 3 times this week. And the point, he didn't know that it was something serious, but the point is he didn't ask either. And I was like, I don't think I want to give someone access to my body who clearly doesn't give a fuck about it enough to even ask me a question when all of my friends are texting me concerned. I mean, it was like all over my body and it was freaking me out. So that was kind of the last straw for me, where I was like, my future husband will be someone who cares and asks questions and is concerned about me if I'm feeling concerned. And if I say I'm anxious about this thing, they don't ghost me.
Yeah.
So that was the end of that. So I cut that off. And then other guy, like, I cut off too. And now I have someone in my life who will not be named, and I don't know where it's going or whatever, but he's treating me the way I've always wanted to be treated and is a really great person. And I am just kind of like, whoa, I cut these shitty men out of my life and decided I'm not tolerating that kind of behavior anymore. And now I feel like this cool thing is happening to me right now.
That's so real. It really is like an energetic thing. Like I've definitely had attachments to men who did not treat me.
We all have.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where I knew I had to like shed it from my life in order to welcome
it's hard
new
to
things.
shed.
It really, really is. Like when you really are attached to someone, or you really like have feelings and you care about them, it's really hard.
I also just think that maybe they'll change.
Oh my God, you're always like trying to see the potential. But it's
years.
Literally thinking about the future husband thing is so real, because sometimes when you're just like in the moment and you're like, there's this person I really like, I really have fun with them, I just really like them, it's kind of hard to, you're not thinking about your husband, you know? But when you do think about that, it's like, would your husband treat you that way? Like, do you want to look back and
like my husband will never gaslight me when I'm stressed out about a health issue.
Yeah.
And be like, LOL, like it's just a rash. Like, I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's one of those things you just, if you have never been treated the right way, you don't really know what you should be expecting from people.
Yeah.
I think, you know.
And I think all of that, like planting seeds in your love life too is literally a thing. Like, I feel like me cutting people off was planting seeds. Like, I just decided, and it took me like literally 10 years to stop seeing this one person, which is crazy. And we were off and on. Like, it wasn't like we've never been fully exclusive, but he's someone that, you know, had a hold on me, and I, you know, whatever. But I think cutting that off, I thought earlier this year about like what I actually really wanted from a future partner. And I'm like, I'm actually very content with being single. I've been single for a really long time. I'm very independent. So like, why don't I just actually enjoy my singleness and independence and not have someone stressing me out on the side?
Yeah.
Or making me upset or making me feel like I'm not worthy enough. Why don't I just actually be single? Especially being single and having a man stress you out at the same time. What is the point?
Oh my God. Like, they're not even your boyfriend and they're stressing
like,
you out
that is
so much. It's like, yeah,
oh
what
my
is
God.
the point? And
either be in my life or not at all.
Yeah. when it comes to relationships too, I feel the same. Like I've been single for a long time and I really have gotten to know myself and I've grown so much and I have amazing family and friends and relationships in my life. And I love spending time with myself and I've built a life for myself that I love and I have my passions and hobbies and all. Like I don't want anyone unless they're going to add to that. Like,
yeah,
there's no reason that I should be stressing out about someone.
No.
But like, it's weird because I feel like I've never really had that balance of like, you're really into someone and there's like the passion there, but also it's like super healthy and I'm not having to question things. And when you have never had that before, it's really hard to sometimes. When you haven't had that, it's hard to know any different. But like, you know in your gut what you deserve and what's right. Sometimes it's so hard to just like take the step to cut things off or like really, you know, do it for yourself or for it is doing it for your future self, because your present self is like going to be sad and it's like, this sucks, like having to cut things off with someone that you care about and are attached to. But it's for your future self, because you know that you deserve better and like, and so that's so real.
Just any kind of relationship too, like friendships
too.
I've noticed
the same thing goes for friendships. And it's so prevalent too, I feel like, in this point of your life, like your mid to late 20s, like this is when your friendships really start to shift. You really, people start growing or not growing or like growing in different directions, and people are busy and things change. And I think cutting out people or accepting if you're drifting away from someone, just accepting that because there's probably a reason. Or if you're being more intentional about it, and like cutting people out that don't make you feel good, like that is planting a seed for your future self, and surrounding yourself with people who make you feel good and support your growth and your journey and like align with you basically where you are in your life. And it's okay if like people don't, you know. I think it's just a natural way of life, and it doesn't mean you have to like have animosity or like hate towards them. It's just like you can really care and love about someone, and it can be from a distance.
I think when you have a clear view of what you want your life to look like, which I don't even necessarily have a clear view of what I want my life to look like. I know I want to make my money doing art. I know I want to be surrounded by friends who love and support me, and I love and support them. I know I want a relationship, a lovely romantic relationship where I feel secure and happy and loved. I want to travel. I mean, I guess I want a lot of things, low key, but once
you know what you want, but not like how it's going to happen. And you're like, I mean, I'm open to in whatever way those things come about.
But then you do have to think of the little things that can either lead you to that happiness or straying you from it. So if you have like certain people in your life, and of course some relationships are more complicated than others. Like there are definitely, you know, some relationships in your life where you're like, this person, you know, maybe is frustrating at times or whatnot. But overall, there's someone you are choosing to have in your life and you're just going to make it work anyways. I'm not at all saying cut every annoying person out of your life because that's so not the case. I mean, friendships fluctuate. I've had some fights with friends who are my best friends today, and it's made us grow stronger. And then I've had some tiffs with friends where I was like, you know, you weren't really that good of a friend to me to begin with. So what's the point?
Yeah. I think the way when it comes to relationships, like conflict is inevitable, especially when you're like super close. Like things are just bound to happen and people are bound to be frustrating, and you're gonna have those fork in the road moments where it's like, okay, we need to acknowledge this. And I think the way that that person responds or how you're able to work through is like incredibly telling.
The way people handle conflict changes everything.
One of the things I live by is like, people are going to make mistakes. People are going to upset you. That's all fine and dandy. That is inevitable. You're going to do, like, I'm going to do that, you know, to other people. the way that people respond to your confrontation or your hurt
is everything.
Is everything. Because people make mistakes. They do. But I think when it comes to conflict, the way that that's handled is just, it's telling of what
it is
needs to happen.
Like, there's such a difference between being like, hey, friend, you hurt my feelings when you said this. And the friend being like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. But like, I hear you and I see why you feel that way. And like, I'm not going to do that again. Versus like, oh my God, like I'm
sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry you feel that way. But why didn't you tell me that you felt that? Well, I'm telling you now. Putting it back on the other person. Yeah. I guess there's just a difference between like being like, hey, I feel this way, and the person responding well, versus being like, hey, I feel this way, and the person responding and somehow turning the entire thing back around on you and being like,
accountability is like super important when it comes to like yourself or the other person, like regardless of right and wrong and whatever, like I think everyone's feelings are valid. If someone was made to feel a certain way, it needs to be listened to. And then also like the way that people, like if their actions change or not.
That too.
You know?
That too.
Maybe they heard you when you had your conversation, but like if they don't change, if it's something that you decide that you can't live with, then it's okay to like distance from that person, you know? Because why keep harming yourself? Your future self would thank you looking back.
And my current self thanks my past self.
Yeah. I think that being an actor who was in a BFA program, Bachelor of Fine Arts, especially for music theater, at least for me, it felt like there's one road, there's one way things are done, there's one trajectory. When in reality, people will be like, everyone has their own journey. But like in everyone's minds, we're all like, no, this is how it works. You get into a good school, you train for 4 years, you sign with an agent, you book Broadway, and then your career just goes from there. Now, we all know that is not the case, right? I mean, first of all, we graduated during COVID. So let's just start there.
Yes, we are 2020 graduates. Bad time.
I did sign with an agency, which was great. I was planting seeds in my relationships with casting directors and getting my face and my voice out there and my name out there.
And she was getting lots of callbacks for her dream roles.
So I was getting lots of callbacks for my dream roles on Broadway. That was like an amazing moment for me. It was like, wow, I'm good enough to be in these rooms. Like I proved something to myself, I feel. But obviously those things did not work out. But I think the beauty of looking back on that is like, wow, I don't like to like make COVID into being a good thing, but like if COVID hadn't happened and we hadn't had that time and space to like sit and like, I don't know, like the unprecedented time of not knowing what the future was. There was so much uncertainty, especially in the performing arts world. Broadway literally was not happening. Theater was not happening. It was like, wow, I can actually take a moment to like, I don't know, be a person. That is when I started writing music, okay? Which is now my biggest passion. I wrote music a little bit when I was younger. But I kind of, once I got into theater, I strayed away from it. And I was just so like, musical theater. Never thought I would start writing again. I can't even imagine if I hadn't, because now it's such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
But that was only, 5 years ago? COVID? Yeah. 2020, 2025. And that is when I started writing music. And that is when I discovered like that changed the trajectory of my life. Whether anything happens with my music or not, I know that I'll be making music forever, because it's truly what brings me so much fulfillment and joy and makes me feel like an artist, like I'm creating. And I know that I'm doing it for myself. Like, would I love something to come of it? Yeah. Not even financially, I don't need it to be like making me money, but like, would I love it to fall into the laps of the right people and like people listen to it and like it and get something from it and it like affects someone in some way, yes, I would love that. But like, even if that never happens or whatever, I know that I'll always be writing music because it brings me so much joy. And to think that that might not have happened if like during COVID, I didn't just have that time and space and pick up my guitar one day and started playing chords, and then I wrote.
And that's planting a seed, picking up your guitar and playing some chords.
I literally picked up my guitar. If I didn't just start playing chords and then like humming melodies and then like writing lyrics and being like, wait, I have a song. And then I learned how to produce music. I was like, wait, I have like these 3 songs that I wrote that I really like. How do I record them? And then I learned how to produce. And the first day I wanted to cry. I was so frustrated. I was like, I don't know how to do this. But then literally like a couple days later, it's just like a learning curve. And a couple days later, I was like, wait, I have a talent for this. Like I have an ear for this.
And you do.
And now it's like my biggest love. And I think, I don't know why I started talking about that. Oh, just like the path is not always what you think it's going to be. Sometimes when you receive rejection or a no, it's like in your best interest. Like if I had,
rejection is redirection.
it is like if I had booked Broadway, yes, I'd be on Broadway, but like maybe this podcast wouldn't be a thing. Maybe I wouldn't have been able to like write. Maybe, you know, it's just, there's always good that comes out of what you think is okay. I know I've been talking for a long time. I have to say one more thing because I'm reading this book. I think I might have talked about it in the last, I think I did talk about it in the last episode. I'm rereading it for a second time, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And he tells this whole like story of like a monk. And he responds to everything with the phrase, is that so? It's like, the example is like, something really bad happens and they tell the monk and he's like, is that so? And then something really good happens and they tell the monk and he's like, is that so? And it's like, because nothing is good or bad. It's just like, it is what it is. Like something that seems bad in the moment can end up being something that like saves your life. You know what I mean?
That is very true. The burnt toast theory. Do you know
What's
about that? So the burnt toast theory is pretty much just like the metaphor is when you put your toast in the toaster and then it toasts for too long and then it's burnt. And you're like, oh, fuck, I have to make another piece of toast. And then you make another piece of toast and you're like, I'm going to be late for work because you burnt your toast. But then, like, for example, because you burnt your toast and had to start over and you're a couple minutes behind, you get in the car and maybe if you didn't burn your toast, maybe if you didn't burn your toast, you would have gotten in a car accident or something. It's just like sometimes bad things are actually good.
Yeah, that was another thing from the book. He used this example of this man who like won the lottery and his friends and family came flocking to him and were like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Wow, you won the lottery. And he was like, maybe. And then he bought a like brand new sports car with his money from the lottery and he got into an accident and he ends up in the hospital and his friends and family come and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is such a terrible thing. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And he was like, maybe. And then while he's sitting in the hospital bed, like a flash flood comes and like rips apart his house. And people are like, man, it's so good that you weren't home during this time that you're here in the hospital. And he's like, maybe, you know, it's just like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
So those are extreme examples, but like, you know, it's just,
I believe in all of that
I
stuff,
do too.
though.
I do too. And I think it's perspective is a big part of it, though. I think you have to have the mindset of like, I don't know, gratitude or like viewing life in this way in order to be able to see the good things and realize your growth or recognize what you might not have if you had gotten that thing that you wanted. And just like trusting in the universe or God or whatever you believe in.
Yeah, I agree.
What is meant for you won't pass you. I'll end this section with another quote. If you chase butterflies, they'll run away from you. If you tend to your own garden, you'll attract them.
Mic drop.
I love that quote.
Yeah. That's a great planting seed example too.
Yeah.
Like if the more you just like
tend to your garden.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. Do the things you got to do for your future. Even if they're little things, like eventually more good will come to you, hopefully, and more good will come out of it.
Yes. The more you focus on yourself, the more you start to understand what brings you joy. And like, if you're living in that authenticity of that, like, you're going to create things or you're going to create a life for yourself inevitably that is in alignment with who you are and like where you're going, and then you're going to attract those things. And it's just like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah.
So plant those seeds.
Plant those seeds.
So plant those seeds. I'm like, is that it?
That's kind of it.
So the take home today is to plant those seeds.
The take home is to plant those seeds.
So we should drink more often on Take It Home.
Stupid.
Plant those seeds.
Plant those seeds.
No,
if
but
you know what I mean.
Plant those seeds, if you know what I mean. Okay, but actually, plant those seeds.
Plant those seeds.
Because even if certain things feel small right now, or even feel hard, like if planting a seed for you means like letting go of something or someone so that better things can come along, that is not easy in the moment, but planting seeds is about thinking of what will help you in the long run, what you actually want for your future. If that's breaking up with someone who you don't think is the right person, even though you love them and you know it'll be hard in the moment, but you'll thank yourself later. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Planting seeds is not always easy.
No, it's not. It's a lot of work. And sometimes you plant seeds and nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. It's just planting. It's like not putting all your eggs in one basket, right? It's like planting seeds wherever you can, tending to what feels right to you, and then seeing what grows. Interpretive dance. If you're listening, Noelle is like doing an interpretive dance basically.
Right now.
But yeah, plant those seeds. Plant those seeds.
Plant those seeds. Wait, how do we say it?
Plant those seeds. I don't even know.
Plant those seeds.
You sound like a frat bro. Plant those seeds.
Plant those seeds.
Whatever that means to you. It can be small. All right.
Yeah.
That's the take home. Plant those seeds.
Plant those seeds.
Do it. And
Okay.
trust.
TRUST.
Trust. Okay. Should we do our listener write-in? Okay, time for our listener write-in segment.
This is where we give you some advice. We've had people message us asking us for our advice. We are not therapists. We are not psychologists.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. We're just a couple of girlies. Your questions will always be anonymous, no matter what. Our question today is: do you tell your friend that's in love and in a serious relationship that you hate their partner? I think it depends.
I also think it depends. If you just don't like the person because you don't vibe with them or you're not fond of them, that's one thing. Maybe that's more about you. I think if it's about the way that they're treating your friend,
Yeah.
and you are seeing toxicity, then I think it's important to bring that up to your friend, but maybe not in a way of like, hey, I don't like your partner, but more like, I don't like the way they treat you, or I don't like this person for you, or I'm worried about you.
Yeah. There's a difference between someone who's a bad partner or a bad person versus just like someone that you wouldn't prefer to hang out with. Like if you just think like their sense of humor is annoying, if they're an annoying person, that's one thing. But if you think they're a bad influence on your friend, or a mean bad person, or if
it's like a scary situation,
then you should say something.
100%. Now, should you expect that they receive that well? No. Like, I think that it's a super sensitive subject.
When you're in love with someone, you have your blinders on.
Yes.
You don't want to hear that shit.
And that's why I think if you're going to approach that, it has to be in like the most gentle way. It could almost be like a question of like, hey, I noticed this. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, because I'm just like worried about, So yes, I think it is important to say something But it's all in the way that you do it, and then also don't expect the outcome you want from that.
Don't expect anything from anyone ever. Is what I've learned. Yeah, like you can share your opinion, but don't, like, your friend, if this partner is actually bad for them, your friend will have to realize it for themselves.
Exactly.
I think you should say something if the partner is actually toxic or a bad person or bad for your friend, but you don't need to do much further than that unless it's like super serious and you think there's a way you need to get involved. But if you just think they're like a shitty partner, you should say something.
I always bring up Mel Robbins. I feel like you guys every episode, but the let them theory, I'm telling you, is life changing. Basically, it talks about how like if someone is going to change,
I'm holding up the let them theory book. It was next to me.
Change has to come from within that person. No change is going to happen no matter how much you care about that person, no matter how much you tell them you think you know what's best for them, whatever. Nothing's going to happen unless that person realizes it for themselves. That person takes the initiative to make the change. Nothing is going to happen. So you can plant the seed in their brain of, hey, maybe this isn't the best situation. But then what they decide to do with that from there is up to them. And I would not break your back over that, because at the end of the day,
it's not worth it.
People are going to do what they want to do, and they're going to live the way they want to live, and they're going to make their decisions, and they're going to have to learn their own lessons, sometimes the hard way. And that's really hard as a friend to have to stand by and do sometimes when you see someone kind of just not living to their fullest potential or doing something that you don't agree with, but people are going to do what they want to do. And I think the best thing you can do is be there and be supportive of your friend in a way that, you know, you're there for them, but you're not killing yourself over
do not kill yourself over
their mistakes and their decisions, because you can't control other people.
You cannot.
You can't. But you can support and you can be there for them. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So follow us at Take It Home Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And you may be watching this on YouTube, but if you're listening, you could also watch on YouTube at Take It Home Pod. Please, if you have a listener write-in question, it'll stay anonymous, DM us, or just an idea or something you want us to talk about, like an idea for an episode topic, please let us know. We'd love to make this more interactive with our friends and our audience. So
yes, we would
please
love
do that and give us a follow.
It'll always be anonymous if you ask us a question.
Yes. Give our podcast a rating if you liked it. You know what I mean? If you didn't like it, don't
rate it.
Don't rate it.
No worries.
No worries at all. If you want to leave a review, that'd be great. If you want to subscribe, you know, that always helps. Thumbs up. Do whatever you can to support us. Thank you for listening.
Love you guys.
New sewed every Thursday.
New sewed every Thursday.
Yes. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.